Hello everyone, it's Thumper the Rabid Rabbit. On today's episode of Rust Electricity 101, the Component Guide, we're going to discuss the CCTV Camera. CCTV Camera used to be a component used to craft auto turrets, and it still is, but it actually has its own functionality now as an electrical component. It is not a default blueprint, and in fact, it is not a craftable item. You must find it, typically in Tier 2 or above loot containers, or you can get it from recycling an auto turret because it is one of the components of the auto turret. And you, incidentally, can purchase an auto turret at the outpost. So if you're dying to get your hands on one of these early in the game, go buy an auto turret and recycle it to get the CCTV camera out of the auto turret. They do require 5 units of power, 5 rust watts each to operate. You put in less than 5 rust watts, they do nothing. Simple, right? You can configure them with the wire tool to set their name or ID. You may also do that with the hammer, but the hammer gives you 3 functions. You can pick it up, you can set its direction, and you can set its ID. First, I'm going to set this camera's ID. The default is Cobalt 1. Don't leave it on the default. Everyone can look at your camera if you leave it on the default. Anyone with the name can access the camera, so it's a good idea to use things that would be difficult to guess. You can use random strings of characters. They are case sensitive, so that would be difficult to find. Or you can use things that would be easy to remember, but you could always mix the case. For example, if I just call this camera Rabid, it's probably going to be easy to find. I'll point it here. And I'm going to name this one capital R4. Maybe a little bit harder to find, maybe not. I'm going to stand over here and hit set direction and it'll point towards me. For precise aiming, and you can aim these by like clicking on them while you're jumping to aim it higher, or by stepping further away for a higher angle, being underneath it for a lower angle. You may need a ladder or to build some temporary boxes or stairs to get a precision aim, but it is possible to aim these in pretty much any direction. All right, you view these cameras using the computer station, which itself is not an electrical component. Go figure. I imagine someday they may add a power requirement to it, but for now, it's purchasable at the outpost, or you can craft it with high quality a targeting computer and a broadcaster and receiver, but it's probably easiest to just go buy it, and once you have one, you place it, and without any power, you can sit down and put in the name of your camera. I'll put in R4B. And when we click on it, you will see there I am at the computer station with my trusty AK. The other one was easier to find with just lowercase rabbit. Click on it. Now you can see over to the fishing village, and it's pointed the other direction. There are also a number of built-in cameras in the landmarks in the game. A good example is all capitals, dome top. This is the top of the dome. Nice view. See who's up there, who's trying to get to the loot, so on and so forth. Or another nice one is casino over at the bandit camp. Now a safe zone, so you can see who's over there hanging out, trying to win themselves a whole boatload of scrap. There are a number of those cameras available, and they change somewhat regularly. So rather than putting them in this video or in the description, I will tell you to use your best Google foo and go search for Rust CCTV Camera, camera names, or camera codes, and that will typically find you some search results that will get you the latest or probably close to the latest available built-in cameras for the monuments in the game. You can certainly deploy these anywhere on the map. They don't have a signal range limitation, so you could deploy one with, say, a solar panel and a camera out near an enemy base just to keep an eye on them and monitor it from the computer station in your main base. Of course, they can always destroy it, but if you're crafty about where you put them, maybe you'll have a chance of putting them somewhere useful to keep an eye on people's shenanigans. That's just about it for the CCTV camera and its surveillance capabilities.